Hi everyone, I'm Kristen, the Cross Stitching Runner, and welcome to my channel. I want to say a big hello and welcome to all new and returning viewers. If by chance you've stumbled across this channel is all about cross stitch with a bit of life stuff thrown in. And before I fully jump into things that I've been working on and all the stuff that's been going on while we've been loving the different whip parades and such that are available to us on YouTube, I just want to really quickly talk about the Great Aussie Shindig. I'm going to be involved with this new event that is happening on the 26th and 27th of January this year. It is being organised by Paddock Lane Designs, and this is something that I am super excited to be involved with. With the Shindig, it is going to be celebrating all of the Aussie creativeness that is involved in the cross-stitch world. And we are wanting to encourage anyone and everyone, whether you are local in terms of Aussie local or if you are international, especially if you are international, regardless of where you are in the world, we are very much encouraging you to come along. We would like to invite you to come along rather to the Great Aussie Shindig. The tickets are for sale via the Paddock Lane Designs website. It's $10 a ticket in Australian dollars, and when you get to the Paddock Lane Designs website, you can do a quick search on the Great Aussie Shindig. I'll also put details and such in the description box below, and hopefully you'll see some captions if you haven't already about details with the Great Aussie Shindig. With the Great Aussie Shindig, it's similar to what you might have experienced with Jingle Ball that has been organised by Steph, who is the awesome person behind Lindy Stitches. So the idea with the Great Aussie Shindig is that we're going to be celebrating Aussie designers, Aussie Flosstubers, Aussie vendors in the sense that if you are after some needle minders or project bags or anything that is related to cross stitch, vendors in terms of like even Paddock Lane Designs with their amazing fabric that they create in terms of dyeing and all the rest. They're just some of the things that come straight off the top of my mind about the different things that and accessories and such that we as creative people need and create for doing cross stitch and doing the thing that we love with regards to cross stitch. So my participation for the event is very much from the designer perspective, where I will be available to share with you a lot of the hot cross stitching designs that, if you've been following me on my Flosstube journey, you've seen some of the designs that I've created over time. I've also created at least 3 charts to be available for the event, one of which is actually going to be part of a special booklet that people, I hope, will have the ability to purchase or thereabouts. I know that Lisa from Paddock Lane Designs will very much be able to answer any queries and such that you've got about the event. So this is something that I just wanted to very much spruik, and I'm very much excited about, because this is the first Aussie event that is, well, there have been other Aussie events. I don't want to discourage that, because I know that we've had Mish from Mish Stitches. She used to be on Flosstube. Sadly, she's not filming Flosstubes anymore, but I know that Mish was amazing with organising some retreats like the Mittagong Stitches retreat, and that when sadly COVID happened and everything shut down, there was a couple of digital events where I know that some international people were able to attend for one of those events as well. And then yeah, there's been some of those sorts of events, but this particular shindig is just a little bit different because the aim is to fully highlight and celebrate the awesomeness of Aussie creativity in the cross-stitch world. So I would love for you to come along, check out Paddock Lane Designs with regards to all the details for the events and where you can purchase your tickets and that kind of thing. And you'll hopefully start to see some more promo material, at least through me, and hopefully some of the other Aussie Flosstubers and other Aussie creative people on the social media sites that you are comfortable with using. Now, without further ado, let's get into some of the stitching that I've been working on over the last couple of months since we last properly caught up. December was a very busy month when it came to finishing, and even the last few days, I guess the first few days of January, my stitching bug and my fully finishing bug has been in overdrive because December was my focus for fully finishing off a lot of the Christmas themed stitching that I'd done for, I guess from back in July last year when I was doing Christmas in July, and I had stitched quite a lot of pieces for my teammates to give to them in December, and I am excited and thrilled that I was able to get it all done. I did do a few trips to Spotlight to get some of the extra supplies that I needed. It all worked out in the end, and all of my team members received the intended gifts. And I love that they've enjoyed it and they are appreciating just the time and effort that I've put into each piece, because my aim with each piece, especially with the actual piece that I stitched, let alone how I finished it, my aim was to be specific to that person in terms of stitching a piece that best reflected what I know of that person, their interests and such, and it worked out beautifully. And I am kicking myself for not taking pictures of those. So I aim to improve this year and to take more pictures of my pieces, to have that visual record of what I've been working on, what's been finished, and how I finished it as well. Now, speaking of finishes, I really want to share with you two finishes that I've been working very hard on. Now, the first piece that I want to share with you is actually a start and a finish. Now, the start and finish is a flow on from one of the whip parades, or even actually, no, it wasn't the whip parade, it was actually my last episode that I shared with you, the Kits and Charts or Kits and Patterns parade. Now, this is my start and finish. This has perspex, it's reflective. I'm not able to do much more about this. So this is what I'm dubbing the Four Seasons Dragons. These are actually 4 individual charts that I've chosen to stitch as we see them at the moment, and these charts are designed by Cross My Heart, and it's got the copyright year of the year 2000. So at the moment, I don't know if these charts are still in circulation or anything to that effect. But my aim with this particular piece is that I will be entering this into the Canberra Royal Show, which will be happening from, by memory, the 21st to the 23rd of February or something very similar to that. Either way, it'll be within the last weekend or so of February. And this year, the theme is myths and legends. And this is where I immediately thought of the dragons, whether it be a dragon that I had as a whip from a very long time ago and is very much part of the UFO section. But I then remember, as part of the Kits and Charts parade that I last did, coming across the Cross My Heart charts within the special booklet and seeing those four dragons, and each dragon, I'll just bring this up again, each dragon took an average of of a week to stitch, in some cases nearly 2 weeks. The challenge that I found most with this piece is doing the back stitch. I appreciate backstitch for what it is in terms of the detail that it gives to a piece, because especially if we take a look at the green dragon, without that backstitch, it's a bit meh. Okay, yeah, we've got the cross stitch there, but having the backstitch there, it really highlights the leaves that are there, and it highlights the eyes of the dragon. And the yellow dragon has a lot of purple French knots. The option was to either do French knots or put beads in. I didn't want to go and buy some seed beads just for that particular piece. The orange dragon is autumn, the green dragon is spring, yellow is summer, and purple, which is looking quite grey in here, the purple dragon is winter. The purple dragon has beads as well, and it's gonna be all cool. Also, I just want to note that this frame is actually a custom frame that I asked to have made up by memory. It's the Framing Shop. They've got an online store. I'll include the link in the or details in the description box below. I'm not being sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form, but I'm acknowledging them because of the next piece that I have to share with you. I definitely wanted to get a custom frame for Dewdrop Daisy, because after going to a craft store, and knowing the dimensions of Dewdrop Daisy, the pre-made frames just weren't going to quite suit the piece. So, without further ado, here is Dewdrop Daisy. And again, it's reflective, but it is a beauty. It is absolutely awesome. So the frame is custom made to have the dimensions that I need for Dewdrop Daisy, and I framed it myself. Just as the same with the Four Seasons Dragons, I framed that myself as well. I just had the frame custom made, and I'm going to be entering Dewdrop Daisy into the Canberra Royal show as well. And we'll be doing 2 trips down to Canberra. The first one will be to drop off the 2 pieces, and then the second trip will be to actually go and see the pieces displayed, and to then also pick up the pieces once the Canberra Royal Show has finished for the year. This is something that I am very much excited about, because this has been on my bucket list for a few years now, to actually design my own pieces, which we have seen, but to also start entering them into the Canberra Royal Show and similar shows. And the aim with entering these into the shows is to display some of my work, and to actually start promoting in a way some of the work that I do, with the eventual aim of it potentially bringing in some other work to an extent, but as a way of just showing off my designs with, I don't know, I feel like I need to find the right words, positive words, to put out there into the world, because the aim of what I'm trying to do here is to very slowly change careers, where I've been working professionally in the information management space for a good 15 plus years, and I love what I do. I work within the archival space. So if you think of here in Australia, for example, or even other countries around the world, each country has their own type of national archives. They have their own museums and such that display artifacts, information and such. You've got your own national libraries and such. And where my expertise and work comes in is helping to help tell the stories, to actually help organise some of the information, not in terms of curating. Curating is a different side of things. My side of things is more to do with so the aim with entering my pieces into shows like the Canberra Royal Show, and I hope to eventually enter them into other shows as well, like the Sydney Royal Easter Show. We've got the Ekka up in Brisbane. Then there's, I imagine, a show down in Melbourne, Adelaide. Perth and Darwin are a bit too far away. I'd most likely be, or even Adelaide's pushing it a little bit as well, distance-wise, because I'd be posting these finished pieces over to the different places, and also paying for postage for the return of these pieces as well. So what I'm getting at with this is my way of passively promoting my pieces, and with the aim of slowly changing careers, changing from a professional world of working in government, whether it be state, federal, state, or local government, in the information management space, and moving through into the creative space. And this is one of the steps of how I'm going about it. And this is where I feel just really excited about entering this piece into the Canberra Royal Show, because I am proud of what I've achieved, and I know that I've learned quite a lot along the way that I know I can put into future pieces as well, to improve stitching, to improve the way I'm framing, or improving the way I'm finishing my pieces, and improving how I communicate with people as well, in terms of promoting the awesome things that not only I do, but other people around me do as well. So it's a journey, and it's a pretty cool journey so far. It's definitely had its ups and downs. That said, the other sort of pieces that I've now started working on, especially now we are in the new calendar year of 2025, the whip that has carried over from 2024 is the black and white dewdrop daisy. Now, I still have my piece in the hoop, but just behind me near the light switch, you can't really see the cover page. So this is the cover page of Black and White Rolled Up Daisy. My aim is to get as much of this piece finished by the end of this calendar year. The ultimate would be to get it actually finished stitching-wise by the end of 2025. Now, this means that I need to put a minimum of 178 stitches per day into it to achieve the results that I want. And this is where I'm at so far. And the really good thing so far, since not quite a week ago, I've been able to put the minimum of 178 stitches in. In some cases, it's been a little more than 178. I think what has helped a lot is the space that I'm stitching in at the moment is solid colour. So that's helped to really clock up quite quickly the stitches that I'm needing to do per day. The challenge will be, I guess, doing the background a little bit, but also some of the confetti that's in it, but necessary for the detail. Now, the next piece that I have to share with you, this one is just going to be a little bit of a teaser, because I have the cover page, but that will be giving too much away. And the good thing is, with what I have stitched so far, it won't be giving too much away. I appreciate I'm being quite cryptic about this, and for good reason, because This particular stitching that I'm doing at the moment is for the Great Aussie Shindig, and it's one of the charts that will be available for the event. Now, this particular piece is what I've stitched so far. Now, what I can tell you about this piece is that it is inspired by my brother, especially in terms of some of the country themed events that he has attended in his younger years. And in Australia, we have events known as Bachelor and Spinster Balls, BNS Balls. And that's all I can absolutely say on the stitching. And the really cool thing is that it is a small piece. It's being stitched 1/1 on 28 count even weave linen. That doesn't make sense. Linen and even weave, two different fabrics. It is being stitched on the Easy Grid fabric. That's all I can really say. It is using DMC threads. The chart that is going to be available for the Great Aussie Shindig, it does have some colour conversions available in it as well. So again, if what I've said so far about the chart is hopefully of interest for you, please go and check out Paddock Lane Design's website to purchase your ticket for the Great Aussie Shindig and come along and check out the event, and you'll actually be able to see the chart as well. And if you're interested, you'll be able to receive it as a gift, or whichever way it ends up being. Okay, so the next piece that I have to share with you is one that actually started back in December, but it's on pause and will start up again in February. So this next piece, I'm actually stitching for a friend. The aim is to get it done by December next year, partly because of how long it takes me to stitch something and because of dimensions of the piece and life, work, all that sort of stuff. So this is where I'm at so far. The piece is called The Grinch, and you'll see a cover page up on the screen of what it will look like. I'm stitching this on 25 count even weave, I believe. It could be 28 count. I can't remember. I will figure out the details. It's all good. Now, I've got a lot of threads and such all over the place, partly because I'm experimenting as well. I'm changing up my style a little bit of how I am starting and finishing my threads. So it's a little bit like the parking method, but not quite, where the idea is the ends of the threads will either be up the top here or down near the bottom here. And the idea is that, or the tails of the thread, best way to put it, tails of the thread. And the idea is that as I'm doing the cross stitching, it will cover up some of the thread that is back here. And it means that I don't have to worry about trying to do knots, or not that I do knots. It secures the thread a bit better. That's what I'm trying to say. So that is the stitching that I've been doing. It's not a lot because I've been focused on fully finishing things, and my focus for a lot of things. Plans stitching wise for January and February at least are semi-fixed, in the sense that I'll definitely be looking to make as much progress as I can on black and white rolled up daisy, as we heard before, that my aim is to get it finished by the end of this calendar year. The other stitching that I'll be focusing on is, like we've seen, for the Grinch, which will be recommencing in February, and then trying to get as much stitching done for the piece that I hinted at for the Great Aussie Shindig. And the way that I'm actually going to be tracking some of this is through two different books. Now, as a wonderful gift that I received from one of my teammates, she knows me very well. She knows, for starters, purple is my favourite colour, and she knows very much that I'm an avid cross stitcher, and she actually was a cross stitcher herself and knows what stitches need to track and record progress. So this is the wonderful gift that she gave me for the end of the year, and I have you started it a little bit already to help track with the piece that I am doing for the Great Aussie Shindig. My aim with this particular book is to start recording any of the new pieces that I start, and that way I can put in definitive dates and details compared with some of the pieces like the black and white rolled up daisy, where I'll be feeling quite vague about when I started the actual piece. And as much as I could go into maybe Pattern Keeper or similar sites, I don't know if Pattern Keeper is able to properly show when I actually started actively working on that piece, because in Pattern Keeper I do have many projects that, or charts rather, sitting there, and I've been sitting there for many years and I haven't touched them yet. So I don't know. That said, the other thing that I actually bought for myself with the initial thought of it being my stitching log, like the book that I've just showed, is my Creative Day 2025. And this was one that I came across on the Kiki K website. I think they might be an Aussie business. I'll put the details in the description box below. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. This is just me saying that, hey, I came across this on the website, and I thought that I'd try this book out as a way of tracking what projects I'm working on each day, how many stitches I've put into it, because I'm also hoping to use this book a little bit for some of the other stitching that I'll be doing throughout the year. And the interesting thing, okay, sorry about that. The joys of being fumble fingers and dropping things. Thankfully, it missed my foot only by a little bit, and I have small feet, so anyway. The aim of this particular book thing, though, is that it starts off like any other kind of diary, where you've got the days of the month and the months and all that jazz, and you can jot down any particular notes of things that are coming up. But the idea with this particular book is that it gives you a bit of a rundown of what the aim of this particular book is and how you may choose to use it. So one of the last paragraphs of this is, it says, let this be the year you tap into your own creativity, whatever that means for you. Within these pages, we've included ideas and exercises to help inspire you to try new things, take a view from another perspective, and have fun along the way. Make this year your creative year, and remember, this is just the start. So this is something that I'm hoping I can try and stick with. I may not use all of the creative suggestions that are provided in this book, but I have certainly made a start. So this is just a sample of how I'm using the book so far. And the idea at the moment is that I do want to use it to track what I've done each day, what projects I've worked on, and that kind of jazz. So we'll wait and see. I do know also, as I've mentioned in February, that I've got the Canberra Royal show on. So my aim will be, as I've mentioned, travelling to Canberra for a couple of times during that month, and I'm taking a few extra days off after the Canberra Royal show to enjoy my birthday and to figure out what I'm doing for the birthday. It's still a couple of months away. We've barely even I'm still working on getting things organised from my end for the Great Aussie Shindig. So that's something we know is happening in January. I haven't even started to think too much about March and the following months, but I do know that the AFL season will be starting off again, most likely in early March. I haven't checked dates just yet, so if you're new to the channel, for the last few years I have been associating or assigning rather at least 12 to 18 different projects, cross-stitch projects to the Australian Football League teams, AFL teams, and that has proven to be quite helpful because I've been able to get a lot of progress done on some pieces, even getting some of them finished as well. One of which was 12 Days of Christmas, which I framed up for myself. I also was able to finish off a piece called Water Tiger 2, or something very similar to that wording, which I was able to finish off for a friend's birthday for her 40th by memory. So that worked out pretty good as well. And so yeah, with the AFL season potentially kicking off in early March, I wanted to say early April. April will have Easter, all that jazz. Not that it really influences my stitching too much, but I also know that I've got another event coming up where it's the Black Needle Society, and last year I had ordered the first box within I don't know how many boxes will be, but it's similar to the Gilmore Girls Stitching Retreat, but this one will be based on Downton Abbey, and I have no idea what to expect, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it. So at the moment, I need to go back and double check emails and such with regards to dates as to when that's going to be happening. But I think in the back of my mind, I was thinking of April because April was the last stitching box for the Gilmore Girls Stitching Retreat, and it happened to fall around the time of Easter, which I think by memory was late March, early April, and it worked out beautifully. So I know I've got those sorts of things, those sorts of events coming up. What exactly I'll be stitching on aside from black and white Black and White Rolled Up Daisy and the Grinch, I'm hoping to be able to get some more rotation in of other projects as well, because there, as we saw in my whip parade and the kits and charts parade, that there's a lot of other charts and such that I want to make a start on, or I want to see progress on, and that's where the books and such that I've shared with you will hopefully help. Will hopefully help to keep me on track for all of that, and will mean that as time goes on, I'll be able to start providing you with some stats, whether it be monthly stats. I think that at the moment, this is early days, at the moment that could hopefully work, where at the end of each month I'll be able to say, okay, well, for Black and White Rolled Up Daisy, I worked on it for X amount of days and I've put X amount of stitches in. So I'm hoping to be able to do something like that, and especially when the AFL season kicks in, this book will hopefully help me out a lot. But we'll wait and see. With all of that in mind, the next few days at least, if not next few weeks, are going to be flat chat, because I'm going to be getting stitching done and getting myself prepped for the Great Aussie Shindig. With that in mind, I am going to wrap up here, and make sure you go and check out Paddock Lane Designs website and purchase your ticket, book in your ticket for the Great Aussie Shindig, because it is going to be an absolutely awesome event, because we've got so many awesome people who are going to be part of the event, ranging from Flosstubers to vendors to the creativeness that is involved with people here in Australia. And I really look forward to seeing you there. If not, I hope to be able to see you at least in a couple of weeks' time, where I'll be able to share with you my progress on Black and White, Rolled Up Daisy, and hopefully a couple of other pieces that I can share more details with you on. Until next time, happy stitching, and I'll see you all later.